Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. How are you? I welcome you on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. My dear friends, look, whatever we want to achieve, wherever we want to be, and whatever we want to do, we need certain things. We need certain things for all that. First of all, what is needed here, that is motivation. We need to motivate ourselves, like we are seen persuading, convincing, motivating other people that please do this thing for me. And like if at all we are in need of some help from someone else, what we try to do is that we are, trying to motivate those people that, please do this thing, that this is the reason. So that is all the motivation. If at all some of the people they succeed in motivating others for their help, and other some of the people they fail to succeed other people, they say they fail to motivate other people, and that they should be helping them. So it is very important that we learn how to motivate other people, but it is much more important, much more important to learn to motivate ourselves. Learning to motivate ourselves for something else, that is really good. And that is something of very basic nature. Why? Because if at all we want to be something, want to achieve something, want to do something, in all of that cases, I think that the first thing which is needed is the motivation. Many of the people they can do a thing easily, but they are not seen doing it because they're not motivated. And a very good example is that some of the young people who can easily wake up in the morning and go for the walk or exercise, but they are seen sleeping, while another some of the people they are not so healthy and they are old people. Despite all that, they are seen getting up early and going out for the sake of walk, or whatever example you want to bring it here. And it's okay to do that, but it's very important that we succeed in motivating ourselves on the one hand, and then very next to that is, that is called self discipline. Why the self discipline? One thing is the external discipline. We are studying somewhere else, we are working somewhere else, and there we do have to obey, we do have to comply the instructions and the discipline of that particular entity, that particular enterprise. But here there is no external discipline. Rather, we have to create a kind of self discipline, so that we avoid the things which are harmful, which are bad, which are dangerous. We avoid those things, and so that we are seen doing the things which are important, despite the fact that these are somewhat unpleasant, that these are somewhat unpleasant, and these are somewhat difficult. But we are doing it because we are self-disciplined people. We have created a kind of self-discipline in ourselves. So to be able to do, to be able to do and to avoid the don't, we need the self discipline, the motivation and the self discipline. So here we are going to talk about the seven very important tips, seven very important tips about, about motivation and self discipline, how to motivate ourselves and how to create a kind of self discipline. There are seven things which we are going to talk about here. All of those seven things are very important. First of all, it is that is define your goals with clarity. Defining of your goals with the clarity, it is so important, because it is something of very basic nature. Immediately after, motivation, after knowing that I need to motivate myself and I need to create a kind of self discipline in myself, the very basic thing is that is, defining your goal in clarity. Mean we need to know what I want to achieve, where I want to be, what I want to become. So that is a kind of clarity. Defining my goal with the clarity, I need this much of the money, I want to earn this much of money by that date. So that is a kind of clarity in defining my goal. Or that I want to build a stamina of 7 kilometers of walk. you know, in 1 hour or in 1 hour, so whatever the time. So it is only for the sake of example. So that is a very clarity that I want to develop a stamina of 7 kilometer of jogging, of brisk walk, of walking, in 40 minutes, in 50 minutes, etc., whatever. Clarity, 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 defining your goal in clarity, that is the number one, and that is the out of the seven. And now the second thing is, be honest with your limitations. Be honest with your limitations. We need to become honest with our limitations. We need to become honest with our limitations. And like say that, I I want to wake up. Somebody tells me that wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and we will go there. And if at all you are not able to, you think that you will not be able to do that, then tell them that I can't make myself available before 6 a.m. or whatever, whatever. So that is, be honest with your limitations. Because if at all you are not talking about, you are not accepting your limitations, you are not honest with your limitation, what is going to happen later on? There will be a trouble. If you have to pay the money to someone else, do tell them that I will be able to pay them on that date and not earlier than that. Be honest with your limitations, and that is the two out of the seven. Now, the third is plan and prioritize as best as possible. Plan and prioritize as best as possible. Mean we need to plan. We need to plan, and what is this planning? Have a to do list. And this to do list do not include everything else which comes to your mind at all. Rather, put down the things which are really important for you to do, and not the other things at all. Do not make it a wish list. Rather, it is a plan which you have to seriously, very seriously work for the sake of achievement of it. So for that reason, my dear friend, what is needed here is what is needed here is that we need to plan and prioritize. And listing the things which are really important and which I can do as well. It must be a realistic one. It must not be an impractical one. It must be a realistic one. And then obviously I need to prioritize it. And what is prioritizing it? It is like, setting the priorities. So this is the number one most important thing out of all that. This is the second most important thing out of all that. And this is the third most important thing out of all that. That is what is called the prioritization. That is what is called the priorities. You know. And now the fourth is break down goals into smaller actionable plans. You know, break down goals into smaller actionable steps. Breaking down of the goals into smaller actionable steps. Mean break your goals, divide your goals into several steps. All of that cannot be done at the same time. All of that cannot be done at the same time. So, for all this reason, what is needed here is that we need to divide our goal like it is the slaughtering of a goat. Once the goat has been slaughtered, then obviously we need to behead it, and then we need to separate the legs, the frontal leg, the rear legs, and then the torso. And it is like, we have to divide it into several actionable steps, one goal into several, small actionable steps, or call it a sub goal, call it a sub goal, whatever you call it, but small actionable steps, divide it into small actionable steps. And now the fifth is, that is find accountability partner. Finding of the accountability partner. Somebody should be working as an account. Somebody should be holding us accountable, and doing a kind of positive criticism upon us. Like, at the end of the day, we can reflect back and see what I should have done which I failed to do, and what I did which I should not have done. etc., etc. In the same manner, we can hold ourselves accountable by reflecting back, and also by reflecting upon our day, upon our previous week. Also, we can get an accountability partner. We can tell, we can request somebody to do a kind of accountability upon us. And that is why, dear friends and fellows, now now the sixth is, that is, reward yourself for progress. Rewarding yourself for for the progress. Rewarding even as far as the effort is concerned. Reward yourself for the sake of effort, and reward yourself for the sake of any progress. Even if at all the progress is not that big, even then we need to reward ourselves, that at least we have made an effort and made some sort of progress here as well. So rewarding the progress, it is not the final achievement of the goal. It is not the final achievement of the goal. It is only a progress. We have at least progress. Like if at all we do have to cover the 10 kilometer, we have reached 2 kilometers. So that is a kind of progress. So if at all we have, if at all we want to save, say that we want to save, $1 billion or rupees or whatever you call it, and we have succeeded in saving 100,000, which is actually the 1/10 of our achievement. And our targeted achievement, still we need to reward ourselves. So that is, reward the progress. And now the seventh and the last is, have a plan B as well. Have a plan B as well if you need one. Suppose that you have to go somewhere else in another city along with someone else, but on that particular day, the person tells you that I won't be able to go, and it's not reasonable, possible, or it is very difficult, or whatever you call it, and you can't go there because that particular person is not available, or even your vehicle is out of order. So what to do on that? But there must be a plan B as well. That I shall be doing it, this thing, if at all that thing was not possible to do at that time. So these are the seven very important, very useful tips to keep ourselves motivated on the one hand, and to stay the self-disciplined on the other hand. Thank you very much.